What's going on, everybody? My name, of course, is Dr. P, and welcome back today for another Fortnite video. Today, guys, I want to go over even more information about the Season 8 storyline, Ruin, and a whole lot more, guys. As you know, Season 8, which is the week we're going to be able to officially unlock the Discovery skin, which is Ruin, is almost here, and with it, almost certainly, huge storyline events. If you enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up rating, I'd really appreciate it, and also if you like what you see and you want to see more, consider dropping a sub to the channel to stay fully up to date every time I upload new Fortnite content, which is almost every day. Of course, I gotta give a shout out to the Fruit faction and these legends on screen for sending me proof of them using my code in the Fortnite item shop. If you want to be featured in one of my next vids, just send me a screenshot on Twitter showing that you support me. So let's start off by talking about this. It's actually been leaked recently that the planes could return to Fortnite Battle Royale. You guys know the plane, the X4 Stormwing. Just very overpowered for much of its tenure in the game, vaulted along with the start of this season, and it looks like it could be coming back. Now, hopefully, it's as its own LTM, which, by the way, has also been leaked. But if it does make it back into the real game, I would like to see it completely nerfed and stripped down of all guns or any kind of offensive ability, and it should be strictly for transportation. That's it. There should also be a gas gauge, and you only have a certain amount of time to fly it before you run out of fuel. I think that way, with those modifications, there's no way anyone could say the plane is overpowered, but people who want the plane could still be somewhat happy, I guess. Let me know your thoughts about the plane in the comment section down below. Also, this was recently leaked, lines of coding in the game's files saying literally Fidget Spinner. I don't even know what to think of this whatsoever. You guys know what a fidget spinner is. It was really popular like last summer. It was literally all anyone was doing on Twitter and talking about, but it's those little things you spin around in your hand. I don't even know how that pertains at all to Fortnite. Maybe it would be some kind of emote where you use a fidget spinner. That's the most realistic thing I could think of. That one is really strange. If this is true, which most times we see leaks like this, they are true, I am going to be really curious to see how fidget spinners are implemented into Fortnite. It would be absolutely hilarious if it turned out to be a real item in the game. Not just an emote, but a real item you used in some way. I think that'd be kind of funny, but I'm hoping not. The leaks just keep on coming. There's also been an item in the game's coding leak called the Zebulon Drone. Not exactly sure what that is at all. It's pretty mysterious, and there's really no information as to what it is yet. We just know the name, Zebulon Drone. But judging by the name, we know a drone is something that looks a little something like this. You know, generally it's something that flies around, it's usually unmanned. Whenever I hear the word drone, I think of those things that people fly their cameras up in to get really cool shots. The strings of code attached to the Zebulon Drone in the game's files actually say start and end Zebulon Drone, so whatever it is, it looks like we are going to be able to toggle it on or off and to start or end whatever it's doing. Really excited by this. There's not a lot of information on it, but just the name itself sounds like it could be really cool. I would love to hear your thoughts on it down below. Just quickly, while I'm thinking of it here, how have you guys enjoyed the reboot van in Fortnite? I think it's just been lovely and something the game has needed for a while. You can see right there, I just clutched up and won a battle. My teammate died, but because I won, I was able to bring him back, and it's not just a ruined game. There's also much less of an incentive to actually thirst people, which is very good. You guys know the Buccaneers bounty challenges are out right now, and you can actually get this emote, the Booby Trap emote. I was streaming earlier, and someone in my chat pointed out to me that it looks very much like the key used in this emote could very easily be the key that was stolen from Master Key, and it makes sense if you look at the key from the week 6 loading screen for this season and compared to the key used in the Booby Trap emote, it is oddly similar. Also, the timing works out. The key just so happened to have gotten stolen a couple weeks before this emote even makes it to the Fortnite public. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that key literally is the key that was stolen from Master Key, but I'm saying, obviously, it looks almost the same, and I wonder if there are any conclusions that we could draw based off of that emote, if there's anything to take away at all. Well, the name of the emote is Booby Trapped. we know the whole theme of Season 8 is X marks the spot. That's the slogan for this season, and obviously it looks like everyone is looking for some sort of buried treasure, and it looks like it may just very well be under Loot Lake based on all of the recent findings, especially this loading screen for week 7. That would totally explain why there's a dig site at Loot Lake, the helicopter hasn't moved from Loot Lake in maybe a week, plus the opening in the top of the week 7 loading screen pretty clearly shows the outline of the metal door that was found under the dig site near Loot Lake. At this point, you really do have to believe that the entrance to wherever Lux is in this picture is right there at Loot Lake's entrance, because it just looks almost exactly the same. I'm convinced at this point. I guess we won't have long to find out. So the question at this point is, what's been going on at Loot Lake this entire season? It looks like they've found where X marks the spot, seems to be under Loot Lake, but who? Like literally, how did all that gold get in there? Who managed to put that dungeon there? I just have so many questions. And if that bunker exists, is it possible more bunkers could exist like that? Is it possible there are going to be more dig sites with even more entrances into the ground dug up? I mean, we're scheduled to have at least one more dig site in the Tilted Towers area, and if they had already found exactly what they were looking for, I don't think they would continue to dig, so looks like they must have something still on their agenda. It'd be amazing if they were to end up making some kind of an underground tunnel system. We've been talking about this off and on for many seasons in a row, you know. I think it would be really cool, you know, just having an underground part of the map too, having different catacombs and little hallways you could traverse and just go through the bottom part of the map. It would effectively be adding a new map to the game, because the underground area would be so new to everyone because literally no one's been there. Of course, that's just an idea though. But seriously, what is going on at Loot Lake? We know the helicopter's been parked there for a while, steering right into the middle of the lake. Of course, we know the dig site has found something pretty important, but I think we might be missing out on a very important fact, and that is the fact that the leftover remains of Kevin the Cube, the shards of Kevin, are in the middle of Loot Lake. I wonder if that in any way plays a role in what the government is trying to accomplish. We've been talking for many seasons in a row ever since Kevin left about him making a return in some way to the Fortnite island, and what if this whole helicopter thing, the whole government elaborate scheme that they have, is actually all about trying to bring Kevin back in some way, or at least maybe trying to harness his energy from those fragments. Remember, they're pretty powerful. So powerful, in fact, that the Ice King decided to go and rip some of those shards off and make his own cube monsters. Even though Kevin is dead, his essence still lives on inside of those shards, and clearly they look to still be powerful. So yet again, here we are talking about the possibility of Kevin returning in some way. And yes, honestly, I think it's possible. I'm not going to say it's likely, but I think it's very, very possible and definitely worth mentioning, especially since Harry the helicopter is constantly looking directly in the middle of the lake at the cube shards, and also considering the fact that when Kevin did originally go to Loot Lake, you'll remember he dissolved inside the lake. Is it possible that some of that liquid seeped inside the earth and got below the lake, maybe even penetrating into the dungeon below? Oh, this is starting to get interesting. I started to look it up online to see if anyone else kind of had a similar theory, and sure enough, I saw one by user Macajoodle on Reddit. He says, "My theory is a simple one. The government will start a dig site at the middle of Loot Lake. It will activate the cube fragments, and as a battle between ice and fire becomes, the cube will unleash powerful forces, hopefully not zombies, maybe ruin, to end the battle." It kind of goes on the same premise of what I was saying, and for sure, if there's one thing that's coming to Fortnite, it's Ruin. Ruin is most likely going to release all sorts of carnage and destruction onto the map, and there's definitely going to be a battle, so I'm excited. I definitely want to see what happens. I'm really excited to find out when this live event is going to be, because I'm convinced at this point there's going to be a live event much like the butterfly event. That was the last one we had back in Season 6 that really meant something. Yeah, we've had tiny things like the Ice King event, but truly the last major event we had in the storyline was the Cube/Butterfly event, and it looks like whatever's coming up next could easily top it. Are we going to deal with dragons? Are we going to deal with the volcano? Literally, so much could happen, man, and I couldn't be more excited to be a Fortnite fan at this very moment. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and until then, my friends, take it easy. Peace out. F in chat for that death.